Some people do things well, others don't. Those who do them well have more sex and pay their mortgage faster. And that raises a question: is there a general rule defining how to do things well? How culture works. A practical guide to better living. In 9 chapters. Chapter 1. Our common goals and ways to reach them. We all have the same anatomy, and this includes the brain. That's why the internet is full of cats and not of spiders. Our brains have common inborn preferences. We all want to survive, live easier, develop, decide about ourselves, raise children, and provide them and ourselves with wealth and good health. We are smart, so all the time we are trying to figure out new ways to fulfill those needs. To be more precise, we will call those ways algorithms. Algorithm may sound very technical, but in fact it's a simple term. It means step-by-step list of instructions. They basically have a structure like this: if this, then that. Let's see some ethical and technological algorithms created by our charming friend. If someone hurts your family and you take a club and beat them up, then chances of it happening again are getting lower. If you take a bone and cut a tool like this out of it, then you can remove dirt and parasites from your hair and look much more attractive. Chapter 2. The overall model: adding, removing, and replacing elements. For example, look at this algorithm. It says if you create a platform and attach wheels to it, then you can use it to transport things with low resistance. Let's call it a carriage. Now let's see the bigger picture. This algorithm was made by combining other algorithms, wheel and platform. In turn, if we combine it with a domesticated horse, we can create an algorithm of a horse carriage. It's important that we don't use only the newest algorithms. We use the whole branch simultaneously. If we forget how to make wheels, we won't be able to make horse carriages, okay? We've looked at creating new algorithms. Now let's try something harder: replacing. From the combination of an engine and our carriage, we can create a new algorithm: a car. With its rising popularity, algorithms built on it, habits, customs, infrastructure, occupations and so on, keep growing, while that built on the older one slowly shrink, right? That's why cars could smoothly replace carriages during the 20th century. It was possible because both cars and horse carriages can easily coexist. Look, here's the proof. Other algorithms, such as monarchy and democracy, can't coexist easily. Therefore, exchanging one algorithm of this kind for another is usually a harsh and violent process, as we instantly cut off everything based on it. Ouch! But no matter how creative these algorithms are, they are not arbitrary. Chapter 3. 2 things that shape our algorithms. For instance, stairs. They are precisely designed to fit the anatomy of our legs and gravity. Generally speaking, this pattern applies to everything. All the algorithms are determined by the environment and our anatomy. Our hardware is stable, and gravity, which is an element of environment, also doesn't seem to have changed throughout history. That's why we can still use stairs, right? But other elements of environment like animals, plants, climate, or resources are all subject to change. And for example, if we run out of fossil fuels, algorithms based on them will become useless. Our impact on environment is not only consuming resources, but also adding things to it. Our algorithms become a part of the environment. With new elements in environment, we can create new algorithms. Let's see it all together. Anatomy and the environment determine the algorithm. Algorithm becomes a part of the environment. Updated environment determines next algorithms. Chapter 4. Definition of culture. Collection of all these algorithms is called culture. To sum up, culture is a set of algorithms created to maximize our prosperity, which tell us how to use our hardware in a given environment. And this applies to everything, even things that seem completely conventional. Let's take monogamy. Chapter 5. Benefits of everyday conformism and routine. Monogamy was sanctified by tradition and religion until the 20th century. Now lots of people don't see any reason to follow this particular relationship ethics, but actually monogamy has a practical dimension. Look at the stats. People who follow this rule live longer, in better health, and what may surprise you, have more sex. If the given algorithm works, we don't need to understand its mechanism. We live by our habits. By default, we do something only because our family or other people did so. Culture is a system of reflexes, right? It's an economic approach. No one really has time to think everything over and over again. And sorry, nobody has time to do countless trials and experiments. To put it simply, we follow two rules. The first one is, if you don't know what to do like the others do. And the second one, if you know what to do as usual. As we've seen, it's an economic strategy, but it also has a dark side. Chapter 6. Side effects of economic approach to using culture. Doing as usual can lead us to using algorithms that were created to solve problems which don't exist anymore. That's why many parts of culture look random, mysterious, and arbitrary. But that's not all. Let's see both rules combined. Do as usual and do like the others do. It can end up with trying to use old algorithms to solve new problems. When excellence of form of execution becomes more important than the aim itself, activity becomes a ritual. Ritualized algorithms are easier to remember but harder to change. Rituals are preservatives which we add to culture. They protect it from being corrupted but in the long term give unhealthy side effects. So what to do? Chapter 7. From updating culture to using it with understanding. I would say that like the apps on our smartphones, culture needs slight updates from time to time. Too abstract? Check this out. Before the First World War, the accuracy and range of firearms increased, okay? In consequence, most of the European armies changed their traditional colorful uniforms to some kind of camo. Except for France. Arguments such as camo makes soldiers look sad and cowardly resulted in soldiers going to the battlefield dressed like moving targets. Well, the second example is a bit more peaceful. To improve red wine's taste, you need to aerate it. Connoisseurs have been doing that for centuries using traditional utensils. But lifestyle designer Tim Ferriss shows that mixing wine with a kitchen blender for 20 seconds improves its taste like 3 hours of professional shaking with professional utensils. If you embrace this technique, you may hear arguments such as treating wine with a blender is a profanation. Cheers! Chapter 8. Cultures and Environments. History of Unification. In different environments, people have created different algorithms. For centuries, cultures had been rather isolated, but with technological development, they started getting closer to each other. As you remember, we are copy-pasters. If we see someone using other culture that can better fulfill their needs, we copy this algorithm. Cultures are like collection of number one hits. Let's take a look at something that seems to be very rooted in local cultures, traditional ingredients of national dishes. Italian tomatoes, Nigerian cassava, Polish potatoes, Indian and Chinese chili pepper. They all come from South America. And it's also happening right now. Today we still remember where tikka masala came from, even though lots of people have already started to treat it as a part of a national British cuisine. When all the cultures are copying the best algorithms from each other, they become more and more similar. The default way of providing shelter in these conditions was to build this. And in these conditions, it was to construct this. But when we live in similar environments like this, the worldwide default solution is to take a mortgage. Chapter 9. In the unified environment, personal cultures. It looks different in different parts of the world, but globally environment is getting unified. I think that you get what I mean. That's why now the most important divisions between cultures don't run between continents or countries, but across them. They run between lifestyles. At the times of big historical cultures, it was hidden by the obvious differences, caused by environmental factors. But now, we can see something that has always been there. Everybody has their own personal culture, and everybody can shape it. Decide what to reject, what to embrace, and create their own algorithms. Do you remember our definition of culture? In this new context of unifying environment, it needs a slight update. Your personal culture is a set of algorithms created to maximize your prosperity, which tell you how to use your own unique hardware. And now please answer yourself honestly. Does your personal culture do it for you? Please like and share. That's how culture works.